Hi, welcome to Yarn Lane. Really excited about this one because I love tatting. I was so pleased when Barbara joined us just before Christmas, and I was so pleased as well that the show was so popular and we had some really great response from you all. You know, really engaged with it, wanted to have a go and embrace tatting. So we sold out. I was just really surprised. I mean, I like tatting, but I didn't know that you would all love it so much. So I've asked Barbara to come back and she's brought back new kits, which are brilliant. So before we do anything else, let me just talk about Yarn Lane so you know how to shop. So if you've been on Sewing Street, luckily Yarn Lane and Sewing Street have joined together in postage and packing. So anything you've bought on Sewing Street, if you buy it now on Yarn Lane, it'll be £3.95, however much you buy just for one day. But we do have our own website, www.yarnlane.com. Works in the same way as Sewing Street. So when you go on, if you want to buy, you click on Watch Live. And then when you scroll down, you will see all the products that we are showing on air today. It's just a really simple way of shopping. Obviously, everything's on the website. But if you click on Watch Live, the kits are there below, as you can see. So we've got loads of different things there. We've got 5 different kits to keep it nice and simple, but the kits are really good value. There's a lot in them. Same as last time with Barbara, we're going to do shuttle tatting and needle tatting. If you would rather phone the call centre to buy, you don't have to buy on the website. It's a free call centre just down the road from us, a UK one. Very nice people. Some of them are working from home as well. So if there's a bit of a delay, don't worry. But lovely and really helpful. So if you've got any questions and you're not sure, you're looking for something in particular, the number's on the screen, 0800 4700 600. Okay, I'm just going to run through the tatting kits that we've got so that we have plenty of time with Barbara today because she's going to show us for you. So we have got, let's start with shuttle tatting. We've done it by season. Well, Barbara's done it by season. So you have to choose, well, you don't because you can have all of them, whether you want spring, summer, autumn and winter. So let's start with spring. I know which is spring because you can tell by the colours. Oh no, let's make sure I get it right. And it says it on the label. So this is an example of what you can make with this kit. Just a few little things. Look at the colours in there. Aren't they pretty? So in the pack, they're just so popular. Aren't they lovely though? So the idea behind this is that you have the Learn Tatting booklet, which has got, if we open it up, is the really fantastic total beginner's guide with big pictures of how to tat. So Barbara's going to explain this all onto the show. You can watch it back on YouTube when you get your kit back home, but this will also reinforce what she's going to teach you as well. So that's everything you need to know, and it looks really simple to understand. Barbara has also written specially a booklet, the beginner's tatting pattern for an edging or a bracelet. So in here you can make this edging and you can make the bracelet, or you can use the same pattern to make an edging. And look, Barbara's put it on a little tissue cover here, but you could use it to edge napkins, table mats, put it on the edge of some clothing, all different things. You can make this little ring here. All the instructions are in there to make this. That you could put onto a card. Isn't that pretty? Also in the kit is everything you need to make that. So, and there's loads. Now this yarn comes specially from America because Barbara is such a tatting expert. She doesn't just use any old yarn. She's very insistent it has to be the right yarn. So you get a tatting shuttle, which is the tool that you need. It looks like a canoe, but it's a tatting shuttle. It's a baby canoe, but it's absolutely. And then in this is, so all of the kits are the same except for the thread. So in the spring kit, you get this lovely leaf green, dusty rose, but more lovely is wildflower, which is this. Let me turn it around. It's this beautiful variegated colour. So all of this, so you get the total instructions of how to tat. You get the booklet that's been specially written and printed by Barbara for our show. Everything you need to know in there, and the shuttle, and 3 reels of thread, which you can make loads with. So there's nothing else you need, and it all comes in a bag. So if you haven't bought the kit before and you didn't buy one last time, this is still, you know, this isn't like the next stage. This is beginners as well. If you did buy it last time, you're going to learn even more because the pattern is different to the kit that you had last time. So there's a message from Jane. Super customer service support on the phone last night. Shout out to Zia, who was brilliant. There we go. So good. Bought even more. There we go. So they're obviously a great customer service on Yarn Lane. So that is spring. Now, if we move on to summer. Oh, I'm on the wrong. That is summer, isn't it? That's the needle. That's why it hasn't got to say summer on it. Not concentrating. Sorry. So in the summer kit is exactly the same. That you get the Learn Tatting booklet. You get the pattern to make all of the items. And you've got the shuttle and you've got the thread. So you don't need anything else. This is all you'll ever need. Then you get the medium pink thread, the lilac medium, and then this beautiful multicoloured, it's called Summer Fun. It's summery. So let me show you a sample of what you can make with Summer Fun. Look at this. They're beautiful. Actually, you'll see, when you see Barbara in a minute, she's wearing this necklace, but in spring. Isn't that stunning? And look, as a complete beginner, you can make this.
Yeah, that's in this booklet.
Yes, you can make this with any of the kits. So in the Learn Tatting booklet that you get in your kit are the instructions to make that. So all the instructions to make all of these items are in the booklet or Barbara's pattern. So if doesn't matter which one you buy, whether you buy spring, summer, autumn, winter, or all of them, you'll be able to make that beautiful necklace. You can make a bracelet like I showed you before. You can make this little ring. You can make some edging. Isn't that beautiful? And Barbara's going to show us about clasps. We had a chat about clasps. Hannah was a bit worried about clasps. Oh. So that's summer. Autumn. Should we have a look at the autumn colours before we go into the kit? Oh, these are lovely, aren't they? I love the variegated one. So there's the bracelet. Isn't that pretty? I might put it on. Last time I put one of these bracelets on and then I went home with it. I only realised when I got home that I'd stolen it. And then Barbara let me keep it. How kind is she? That old trick. No, I felt awful. I forgot to bring it back today. Isn't that beautiful? So I've got to remember to give it back to her since I stole the last one. And the necklace, that's lovely in those colours, isn't it? And then there's an edging. You know, you can edge lots of different things. You don't anything you want with it. I know, that's just beautiful, isn't it? Imagine wearing that and telling people you made it. Say, look, I made that. It's lovely. I like the way it's almost like coral. It's got that sort of 3D effect to it. It's not flat. So in the autumn kit, again, you get the Learn Tatting booklet. You get Barbara's pattern for the bracelet, you get your tatting shuttle, and then you get orange thread, yellow thread, and then this beautiful variegated thread. It's called Falling Leaves. Isn't that lovely? Shall I turn it around so you can see it? But you see how it changes colour as you go. So that's autumn, and then finally winter. So what if you want to have a go at this, you could get all 4 kits. And then you'd have different jewellery and pieces and decorations. Oh, you've got loads and loads of thread. Loads of thread. So in the winter kit, let me show you what the colourways look like. These are very, very delicate. So you've got the variegated thread that's in it. Yeah. So if you had all of the kits, because these are sourced specially by Barbara, you'd have loads of colours then. So you can see the variegated thread in here that's called Blue Ice, is very subtle. And then you get this lovely ocean turquoise and bright blue. And obviously the shuttle as well. You get a white shuttle. Are those going to be the same colours? You just get whatever colour you're given.
It's a surprise.
It's a surprise colour. Surprise colour. And then you can make the edging, you can make the bracelet, you can make the necklace. There's so much. Right. Then finally, I'm going to show you needle tatting. Now, we did that last time. Some people prefer shuttle, some people prefer needle. I love this kit. I think this is such a good idea. So this is needle tatting. Now we haven't got this in seasons. This is completely different. In here, right, you get 5 cards with envelopes that are pre-printed. I love this idea.
Super, isn't it?
It's fab. So in the pack you get, I'm going to just open one of them. There's the pre-printed cards. There's 4 different designs. You've got the bench under the arbour, the flower basket. I love that one with the picket fence, the wheelbarrow and the birdhouse. And in here is the envelope, but also the instructions, which is fantastic. So everything you need is in there. And in the pack as well, you get the needles that you need. The fine needles for needle tatting are in the pack. And you get 4 flower colours of thread. This one comes from Turkey. This is very special as well, because Barbara's very insistent it has to be the right thread. So this one comes from Turkey, that one comes from America. Let me show you what you get to make. I think these are so lovely. You know, you often think, what am I going to do with these things? Well, look, with the cards, you make needle tat these little flowers, and you can do any colours you want. You've got so much thread here. So once you've done these, you can use them to decorate anything. So with this one, Barbara's put little flowers around the arbour, and then this one, there's flowers on here. So you can decorate with as much or little as you want. So if you're brand new to this and you think, I'd like to have a go, but I want to make something a bit special, look how lovely these are. This is the sort of thing you buy in a craft shop and costs a fortune. And when you've made them, you can send them. Even better. Well, no, when you've made them, you can keep them because you won't want to send them. But they all come with an envelope as well, which is lovely. But aren't they really pretty? So if you want to have a go at needle tatting, this is a really lovely thing that you can do with them. Actually, I'm missing one, aren't I?
Yes, it's here.
Ah, that's
I've
right.
got
You
that
can keep that one.
All right.
Sorry, what does Carol say? No, Carol says, are the instructions the same for needle tatting and shuttle tatting? No, because they're different things, which you will learn in a minute. Because the needle tatting one, you do the cards and you use a needle, and the shuttle tatting one, you use a shuttle and where you're making edgings and jewellery and bracelets and necklaces and all sorts of things. They are a different thing, but some people prefer needle tatting, some people prefer shuttle tatting, and some people like both. But this is really, this is very, very beginner start off. So everything you need to make these gorgeous cards are in the needle tatting kit. Right, that's all the kit's done. So let's move over to Barbara. Okay. Welcome back. Thank you for coming back. We obviously didn't scare you off too much last time. So where do we start with this then? What should we begin with?
What would you like me to do?
Shall we start with needle tatting?
Okay.
Because I think we started with shuttle last time.
We did, yes.
So which one do you prefer?
It depends what I'm using. Needle tatting is super if you've got much thicker thread.
Right.
But my go-to will be the shuttle because that's what I learned first.
Okay.
And I think it is what you learn first that you go
yes,
back to,
probably.
isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
But all of the shuttle patterns, all the patterns for tatting can be done with the needle or the shuttle.
Oh, okay.
It's just that you make the stitches in a different way.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, that's good to know. So they are interchangeable. So if you've bought the needle tatting kit, you can do the shuttle tatting with it.
You can do shuttle tatting with the pattern and vice versa.
Right.
Yeah.
So buy one of each and then you can swap them over.
Yeah, and then you've got the patterns. Because you can make this quite easily with...
Oh, I see. Oh, I love that one. And that's in the winter.
This is the winter colourway, yes.
Oh, that's beautiful. And you've got the spring colourway on.
I've got the spring colourway on at the moment.
And I've got the autumn one.
I'm feeling springy today.
Yes, you look very spring and floral.
I thought we needed a bit of cheering up, don't we?
Well, it's February.
We've had Blue Monday and we need cheering up. Okay, so we'll start with the needle tatting, and what we need to do is to get some thread.
So the needle tatting, in case you weren't concentrating, is the one with the cards.
And to make your little flowers, you need about 2 meters of thread, which is 2 lots of those.
It's not an exact science then.
So very exact, yes. And the hardest thing you probably do now is thread your needle. That's what I find the hardest. So in the needle pack, you always get a needle threader.
Oh,
So you pop your needle threader through the eye of the needle.
What a good idea.
And then you can pull it. And my tip, if you're using a needle threader, is don't pull the plastic bit, because they do come apart. So hang on to the actual wire bit and pull that through that way. And that way your needle threader will last longer.
Okay. Yes, have they got quite small eyes then?
Yes. Because the idea is that when we're doing our stitches, the stitches need to go over the eye of the needle. So these needles are specifically made for tatting, because the eye of the needle, there's no little bump at the end of the eye as there would be in a normal needle.
Okay.
So they're nice and smooth.
I like the way they come in a tube.
Yes.
Nicely protected.
You don't lose them then, do you, when they're in a tube? Okay.
Beautifully protected.
So we're going to make a little ring, which the first thing we're going to make is a little ring which will look like a little bud. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the thread behind my finger, and because I'm right-handed, I've got my needle in my right hand. And then with my left hand, I'm going to start making the stitches. And I'm making the stitches over this finger. Okay? So it's going to go round that finger and straight up towards the nail and onto the needle. And you just have that little bit of stitch. That's your half stitch. And you hang on to that with your finger. And then you go the opposite direction. Bring your finger towards you. And then going from the knuckle up to the nail, you take off the thread again, another loop, and there is the stitch. Okay, can you see that? Sorry, I'm going the wrong way.
Perfect, yes.
Getting used to this, okay? So that's the stitch. So it's round the finger and up, take that loop off, pull it tight, round the finger the other way, knuckle to nail, upwards, and there's your next stitch. And so we do that, and it's quite relaxing.
Yeah, so once you've done a few of those, so if you watch this back on YouTube, you can do a few. You just do it quite fast then.
And you'll find that your finger knows where to go. Your finger will know where to go before you do.
That's amazing. Yeah, it just knows.
Muscle memory, it just knows, yeah. Just knows what to do. See? There we go. So I've got about
with a bit
7
of practice.
on there. Yep, no problem. So we've got about 7 on there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to transfer my needle into my left hand, hold onto the stitches between my thumb and first finger, and then I'm going to pull the needle, holding onto the stitches, pulling the needle, pulling the thread right through. Can you see it's coming right through? And I'm going to pull it down, and there's the ring. Can you see that? There we go.
Oh, so that's
like a little bud.
Yes, I can see one of these.
Now I've done that first because you can see how to do the stitch. And working with the same length of thread, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that bud behind the needle again, and we can start again. So you see I'm holding the bud behind the needle. I've done my first stitch. Now I'm doing my second stitch. And now we're going to do a flower, so we need some petals. So I'm going to do some picots for petals. And a picot is just a piece of thread that you leave between the 2 stitches. Can you see that little space? Then I'm going to do the second half. You notice I'm holding on to it, the second half of the stitch. And if we push those 2 stitches together, there is your picot. Okay? And flowers, well, they have lots of different amounts of petals, but we're going to work on a 5-petal flower. So every time I do a stitch, I'm going to leave that little gap, hang on to it, and then do the next one. And it doesn't matter if they're not exactly the same, because all petals are slightly different anyway. We've got 4 there so far. And there's the 5th petal. Okay. So again, making sure that your little petals are all facing the same way. Hang on to them and then start pulling through again. And pull through and carry on pulling through. And there you're going to have your little flower. There's the little
Lovely.
flower.
Oh, that's really lovely. So you just
Okay.
keep making them.
Just keep making those until you've got, let's take those out. Here's one I did earlier. So we've got some on there. You see, just leave them on the length of thread that you've
so you
got.
can just make one on the thread.
Yeah, just keep making one after the
you don't
other.
have to cut them all off. Oh, you can make them any colours.
Yeah.
You can make a lot of flowers from this thread.
Oh gosh, hundreds.
Hundreds.
I've
So
already made hundreds with mine.
So once you've done
So once
the
you've done
5
that,
cards,
yeah, you just get your scissors and just snip it off. And then if you've got some glue handy, just pop a little bit of glue on the back of that flower. And this is a little petal that's fallen off onto
the wheelbarrow.
onto the wheelbarrow there.
That's right, you don't need to turn it around actually.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Lovely. Show us the one that you've done already that's in front.
And this is the wheelbarrow. So I've done that one already. Oops, sorry.
There we go. That's so lovely, isn't it? What a lovely card to show someone.
And you can put on as many or as few as you want, really.
But it's just really lovely. It's the sort of thing you see in really lovely craft shows, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's a butterfly on there you can see, and the instructions for the butterfly is also in your pack.
Right, so half of the stock of the needle tatting one has gone. So it was massively popular last time, so you do need to put it in your basket and check out. This is a lovely kit. You won't be able to find these cards anywhere else. And to be able to get all the instructions and the thread, everything you need. And I think when you start a new craft, it's really important that you have the right stuff. That you don't just have something that's kind of a sort of a replacement, or just because you're a beginner, you don't need the right stuff. This is all the stuff that Barbara has learned that it's the best thread to use, the best needles and the instructions over the years and years she's been tatting. So this is a fantastic kit.
This is a fine perlé thread, so it's a soft thread, so it looks lovely with flowers because it just gives them that soft appearance rather than being stiff and starchy.
I think it's lovely because quite often I find with other crafts, beginners' kits always seem to, not always, but they quite often have, not the sort of the top quality materials.
I know what you mean. Yeah, almost like children's things.
And it doesn't need to be like that, does it?
No, it doesn't, and it shouldn't be because it does put you off. I think when your final product is not as nice.
Yes, exactly. And then later on, you buy the sort of better equipment. You think, oh, why didn't it happen?
And it's sometimes easier to work with the best equipment as well.
It is. Well, that's lovely. Thank you. These are gorgeous. So over half has gone. So if you want the needle tatting kits, you need to put them in your basket. Last time Barb was on, we sold out. So we have got more this time. But, I don't want you to miss out. So, shuttle tatting.
Okay.
Right. So we've got 4 different seasons. So why have we got 4 seasons?
Because there are 4 seasons.
Well, yes. But why did you decide to do 4 seasons?
Yeah, Sorry, Rebecca.
That is funny. I asked for that.
I started looking at different colours to put into the new kits. And my first choice was the autumn one because I just love.
Oh, I love that falling leaves thread.
Yes,
it's
the
gorgeous,
falling leaves. And then I picked out the spring fresh flowers, and I thought, there's a theme coming here.
There is, yes, yeah.
So I found summer fun.
Which is obviously summer.
Yes, and rather than go for a Christmas theme with the winter, I thought we would go for really a winter theme, which gives you. And those colours are lovely for snowflakes.
They are beautiful, aren't they?
Make beautiful snowflakes.
Yes, because you don't, there are plenty of patterns here. Barbara's shown me a few different things that you can make. But the colour, as the variegated colour in that is so delicate.
It's really pretty. It just goes from white through to very, very pale blue through to a sky, through to the bright
something
blue.
like that. Imagine putting those on a card. That's beautiful, isn't it?
And they look lovely at Christmas.
And you can make.
A lot of people don't do the yellows and not yellow. A lot of people don't do the reds and greens at Christmas now. They do.
Yeah, a lot. Yes, you do. It's a bit more classic, isn't it?
Yes.
And it's the sort of thing that you'd keep forever. Beautiful, that. I love that one. Wow.
that's
So
the winter one.
where do we start? Well, first of all, you've got to choose your colourway, or you can just have all four if you can't decide. Spring is the most popular at the moment. Is that because it's spring?
Perhaps because
nearly?
it is spring.
Not quite, actually, it's still winter.
I think they're nice, delicate colours. I like the green in the spring.
Yeah, I do
And
like
it
the
looks
variegated
lovely
colour
in
on that one. It is very, very pretty, isn't it?
The necklace is made using the pink and the green.
Okay, so you didn't use the
I
variegated.
didn't use the variegated for the necklace. No,
so you can
not this time.
choose.
Yeah.
And all the instructions are in there. So where do we start with this?
Okay, so do you want me to look at the necklace, the basic tatting one?
Yes,
Yeah?
let's start
Yeah.
very basic. So
Okay,
anybody
so-
who didn't watch last time, remember, what date, Hannah, was Barbara on air last time?
16th of December.
Oh, 16th of December. There you go.
remember it.
You're sure Barbara remembers it. 16th of December. So if you want to watch, if you weren't here for the last show, you can watch back on YouTube and watch Barbara doing it. But she is going to show us again today. But after both of them, you'll be an expert.
Okay, so what I did for the necklace is I did this edging here.
So that's in the Learn to Tat booklet.
And
It's in your kit.
Once you've got the hang of doing a chain, which I showed you last time, then you can do your ring. So if you look at the necklace, you see that it's just a long length of that pattern there. So I did,
Oh, yeah.
yeah?
Yes.
So I did 3 different lengths. So they fall. And then I joined them together with 2, this particular one has got 2 jump rings on there, but you just put a jump ring through the top because you start with a ring, so you just put it through the top.
Okay. Yeah.
And
so
different types of clasp that you can use. This one is a magnetic one. You notice the clasp on here is
very
nice.
good for a bracelet because it's really hard to do
Yes.
jump rings up on a
Yeah.
bracelet, isn't it? I
It
like
is.
the autumn one.
So that's that one. I think on that necklace you've got the same.
Yeah,
as
this has got,
haven't you, a ring and bar.
A ring and bar. I don't know what that's
Yeah.
called. A ring and bar I've got on mine.
Yeah. So that's the simple things that you can do with this. And this motif here is this one here. So that motif, and that can go on. You can sew that onto your bag when you've finished.
Yeah.
It looks nice on a bag. So we start with the chain. Now I've already done the ring here because what I'm going to do is show you how to look at your pattern that you've got for your edging.
Right.
So we're going to have a look at the edging.
So that's in your
pattern.
pack as well. So you get the Learn with Tatting,
So you
Learn
have,
Tatting, and then you've got the pattern as well.
that's right. So you've got your materials and your abbreviations. And then you've got lots of photographs in this leaflet because you can look at the photograph and check what you're doing.
Okay.
So the first pattern at the top here is the instructions for the edging. And then once you've done the edging, you can then basically turn that into a bracelet. So I will show you how you do that.
Okay.
So this is how we start with our edging. We do the ring first. But for those of you that haven't seen how the stitch is made, we're now on to, make sure I've got it in the right place. We're
That's
now
good.
on to doing the stitch for the chain. And I would suggest that the chain is what you need to work on first. Make sure you've got that and then you can do your ring. So I'm on chain A and the pattern tells us 2 picot 2 picot 2. So the first half of your stitch, you'll put the thread going down your hand and loop it over and then go under your thread and back. And then as you pull your shuttle, you need to make sure that your, in this case, pink thread is nice and loose and it goes over the top, and we can do that nice and tightly. Hang on to that stitch, do the second half of the stitch, which is over the top of your thread and underneath the loop. And the same thing, make this pink thread nice and loose, and then you can tighten it up and move it down your thread. So there's your little pink stitch. We do that again because the pattern tells us to do 2. So down, lift up, go underneath the thread, back through that loop that you've made over your hand, loosen the thread in your left hand, pull tightly on your shuttle, and then tighten up your left hand thread. Second half is going over the top, coming back underneath, doing exactly the same, making the pink thread nice and loose, and then tightening it up afterwards. So now we've got 2 stitches. And the pattern tells us to do a picot. The picot is exactly the same as it was on needle tatting. We just leave a little bit of thread there, hang on to that, and do the second half of the stitch, and there we've got a picot. Okay, so let's do the stitch again. Over the hand, underneath, back over the top, and pull. Second half, over, under, and pull. So that's another 2, and we now need another picot. So we're going to leave a little bit of thread to do the picot. Finish that off, and then the last stitch. Now you notice that when I do the picot, the stitch I do straight after the picot, that counts as the first stitch of your next bit on the pattern.
Okay.
So when you look here, there's only 2 stitches between each picot. And the picot basically is made out of the first half of the next stitch that you're doing, but that doesn't count as a stitch. Okay, otherwise you end up with too many stitches.
Okay.
And now we're going to, because what I want to show you today is the join. We didn't do that last time.
Okay.
So I'll show you join. So now it tells us to do a ring, a small ring. So to do a ring, we need to turn our work upside down, turn it over. That's called reverse work. And then we're going to do a ring. And the ring is always done with the thread that's on your shuttle. So I'm going to put the thread that's on my shuttle round my left hand. I'm going to pinch it where it meets the last stitch that we did. I'm going to pinch it there, and you see I've got a circle on my hand here. Okay, and then I can start my stitches, and this tells me to do 4 stitches. So that's 4 double stitches. 1, 2, 1, 2. So that's 2 double stitches. 3. And you see the variegated thread helps you to see that you twisted the stitch right, because your stitch needs to be made from the thread that's round your hand.
Okay.
That's important. 3, 4. And now we're ready to do our join. So all you need is a tiny crochet hook, and you're going to put your crochet hook through that first picot. It'll tell you where to join. Join to the last picot of your last ring. So that's this one here. We're going to put that through. Now we're going to bring the thread through, but it must be the thread that's on your hand. Okay, don't bring the shuttle thread through, because you'll lock it if you do. So bring that thread through, and you see I've got a little loop there now. And now I can just put my shuttle through that loop, and then I can open up the ring again, and there we've got it joined.
Okay.
Okay, so that's your join. But you must remember, never, unless you want to lock that join, always make sure that the join uses the thread that's round your hand.
Right, okay.
Okay, because that's the thread that's making your stitches.
And that's the little ring, the small ring.
And then we're going to finish, that counts as the first half of a stitch. So we're going to finish that one off, and then you can see that that's joined. And if I fast forward, it tells us in the pattern it has to have 2, getting ahead of myself, 2, then a picot, another 2, and another picot. And you can do picots on rings as well as on chains. And then I think we finish with 4 stitches. So 1 and another one. And then I can pull this ring up. Because I made all those stitches from the thread that was on my hand, I can pull the thread that's coming through my shuttle through those stitches, and there you see you've got the beginnings of your edging.
Beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful.
So just a few things to remember there. Always when you're doing a ring, you must make the stitches with the thread that's over your hand.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's just the ring that's just part of this whole band.
Yeah, that's the first ring that you do. If you look on here, you see it's the first ring and the second ring there. It's the first ring of the repeat, basically.
Oh, okay. That's so pretty.
Okay.
So which colourway have you got there? The summer?
I'm using the summer one. I thought this would show best on camera.
I do like the way that the variegated, it really changes colour quite quickly as well, doesn't it?
Yes, it is a short.
It's really effective. So all of the needle tatting kits have now sold out, despite the fact we had more than last time. And the half of the spring has sold out. That's the most popular so far.
Yes, they're lovely colours, the spring.
I love this summer though. That's lovely, because it's so it changes when you look at the little the little picots and the rings on the end. They're different colour each one.
Yes, when you use the variegated, they come different
They're
colours.
completely different colour each one, because it just does it like that. Okay, so what are you going to show us next?
Okay, so once you've done your edging, you see there's your edging.
That's the
I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've done 6 repeats for my bracelet that fits me.
Right.
Does it fit you all right there?
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
Fits me lovely.
So 6 repeats, and you end up with the large ring here. And then you go on to the pattern instructions for the bracelet. So you would move from your edging, you finish that, now you're doing the bracelet. And to finish the bracelet, basically all you're going to do, if we look at this one, is a chain that comes round and joins them all up and joins to the other end.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so...
Oh, yeah, so the edging, I can see now.
Yeah.
The edging just has that chain on, the edge on one side, but the bracelet has it on the other side as well. Right.
I mean, if you wanted to, you could make that into a bracelet, but I think it looks prettier, sort of almost like an insertion.
Yeah, and also it just gives it's slightly thicker as well.
Yes.
It's a really nice one. And once you've learnt that side will be easy anyway.
Yeah.
Gosh, you could use this for so many things, this edging, couldn't you?
It's so versatile. So the pattern instructions tells us to chain 8. So we're going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
See, look how quickly
7,
Barbara can do it now.
8. You can speed up.
She showed us so slowly, but then once
you
you've
can
done
speed
it,
up so quickly. And again, we're going to do a join. Now this time, this is a join that will lock. This is called a lock join.
Right, okay.
Because I'm going to put, it tells me to join to the last picot on the large ring, which is this one here. So I'm going to put my crochet hook through front to back, and then instead of bringing the thread which I've been making the chain with, I'm going to bring in the thread that's coming from the shuttle.
Oh, because it's going to lock.
Yeah. And then, so we're going to bring that through. And exactly the same, we're going to put the shuttle through there. And the thing is with a lock join is to hold on to it at the point where it's joining, so that you don't make sure that it's a nice, neat join. Okay? And that's all you do all the way round. So your next one, and it does tell you on the pattern where to join. The next chain of 8 will join to the top picot, so that will be this picot here. And then you will go and join onto all of the different picots all the way down.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's so pretty.
Okay?
I really like that. I love that effect.
It's a lovely idea, isn't it? And you can, if you've got an edging any pattern really. If you've got an edging pattern that will stay nice and straight, some of the edgings will curve, but if they've got picots on, then you can just basically follow the bottom half of the pattern and just it sort of mirrors the top half.
Nice message from Carol. Stunning. Never done tatting before, but I'm going to give it a go.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you, Carol.
Do it.
Yeah.
Well, my mum's been trying to tat. I told you,
Let us know how you
she's
get
been
on.
tatting for years. She reckons she's finally cracked it. She's going to watch it today, and that's,
Yeah.
well, very slowly anyway. So I hope this has inspired you to do some more. But we've had loads of lovely messages from people who say they've always wanted to give it a go, never thought they could do it, and have been really inspired by you.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Let us know. Keep letting us know how you're
Send
getting
us
on.
photos.
Yeah, we want
photos.
to join you on your journey. As
Yes,
it is.
all you only have to make something as simple as that, and you put that onto a piece of white cardamom. It's just
It's
beautiful,
lovely.
isn't it?
Yeah, and I tell you, your friends will be very, very impressed.
Yeah, well, yes, I'm impressed.
Everybody thinks I'm really clever for doing it, and it's not that difficult.
I think you're really clever for doing it because it looks really difficult. But then, what's interesting is watching you do it so slowly. But then it just
speeds up. And I'm doing exactly the same as I've shown you, slowly. But just at a
so if you just keep rewatching it and watching, and I guess because in kit you get this whole big booklet.
That's right, yes.
That's showing you exactly what you've shown us.
That's right. And there's another edging in there as well. This one here.
Is that the one that's called Another Edging? There's one called Your
Probably.
First Edging, and then one that's called
Another
edging. It's like the technical.
Yes. Well done, Rosemary.
I love that. Another edging.
I love the technical term there.
Yeah, another edging.
And that one, I mean, you could make a bracelet with that. You see where the chains are. You just make those chains coming back, make the length of the bracelet you want to, and then come back with those chains and join them to the top of each of those rings.
Yeah.
So you could end up with a bracelet with a ring in between, just exactly the same as what I've done. So you can mess and play around with these things.
Just ordered the autumn kit. Never tried it before, so looking forward to receiving it. From Collector.
Oh, great.
Nice.
Oh, well, I hope you get on there.
I think
Collector.
autumn is my favourite, actually, but I love autumn colours.
Yes.
I think. I do like the...
super.
Well, be tricky, but I think autumn's my favourite because I think it's because I like the falling leaves thread.
Yeah, well, that was the first one I went to, was the falling leaves, and it sort of went from there. So shall I do another chain and do it slowly?
Yes, we've got another 7 minutes.
We've got some time left, haven't we?
Approximately. 7 minutes and 32
so
seconds.
I'll make sure I've got...
Are you going to do summer?
This one's still summer.
Okay, we're still on summer.
So I've done 8. The next chain is also 8. So again, first half is going down. All I'm doing is lifting up the thread to make so that I've got a loop above the thread that's in my hand. Then I'm going to go underneath that thread and back. Then I'm going to pull hard on the shuttle, keep that nice and tight. This is the other thing. Some people, they pull hard, they get to that stage, and then they let that go, and then it goes back again. So keep your shuttle nice and tight, and then tighten up this one till it reaches the end. Hang on to that stitch, and then the second half you go over your thread and under the loop that's just naturally made there, and do the same thing. So that's lifting it up, under, over and through that loop. Let it relax and then tighten it. Over, under, let it relax and tighten it. Now if I speed up, you'll notice that all I do is I just lift the thread up.
It's very rhythmical though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Yeah. So that's the first half.
Can you do it and watch the telly?
Yeah. The only thing is I have to look down when I'm doing a join.
Okay, but you can do that little bit.
Yeah.
Well, it's a nice thing to do. It's a sitting down craft, isn't it?
It is, yeah. That's the unfortunate bit about it, really. You do have to make sure you get some exercise in between.
I know, but
or
it's
you'll
lovely.
end up being my size.
But it's lovely because lots of people do lots of different crafts, don't they? So it's nice that you have some that are on the machine, and then you have some that you can sit down and watch the TV, or you can take on holiday with you, or you can sit on the train, and this is one of those.
And the thing is that you just need, I mean, this is all I've got, and this is all I need.
That's it, isn't it?
This is it. It goes in your pocket. I've got lots of little bags. I love bags. So I make bags, I knit bags and I crochet bags. And I've got lots of little bags with all different things that I'm doing.
And that's all, and it's lovely sometimes because otherwise you need so much stuff, but you actually only need 2 balls of yarn, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, cotton, I would call it yarn. 2 balls of crochet cotton.
That's it. So I'm going to do that join again.
Yes, do.
Okay.
Do.
Now this is the lock join. So with the lock join, you're going to use the thread that's coming from your shuttle. Grab it with your, it's because I'm trying to do it slowly. Grab it with crochet hook and bring it through. Bring a nice loop through, and then making sure your loop's nice and straight. Pop your shuttle through, hold on to the join and pull it through so it pulls nicely. When we're joining the rings together, remember that you want to use the thread that's over your hand. Okay, so that is a specific lock join. So most of the joins you won't want to lock if you're doing a ring. So these joins here between the rings, they're using the thread that's coming over your hand. Okay, so that's the 2 different joins that you've learnt today. So you've done the stitch, a ring, a chain, 2 different joins, and you're on your way. You can do most patterns now.
Wow, that's brilliant, isn't it? And so if you want to put the clasp on, how does that happen?
Okay, so what I did, just to make sure that the clasp was nice and firm, I put...
What size crochet hook are you using there?
This one is a size 0.75 millimetre.
Oh, very tiny, okay.
Yeah.
And I guess you have to use a crochet hook, don't you?
Yeah. Yes, you need some kind of hook to just
to
hook
get
it through.
Back. Okay.
Yeah, I mean we're not crocheting as such, but we're just using it as a hook.
Something to hook through.
Yes,
so you could
hook
hook it through with a needle or something.
Yes, if you've got a little hook or a needle or something like that. But these are not expensive to buy, and they're usually made out of steel. The finer hooks you find are made out of steel. You can get them with nice posh handles if you want to do that. Okay. But
well, we'll have to get some of those in stock. We've got,
yeah.
I think the smallest we have is about 2 because that's for normal crochet.
Yes.
We haven't gone to very fine crochet, so that'll be next.
Well, Knit Pro do them.
Okay.
They do.
Those are mostly the crochet hooks we do anyway.
Yeah,
so.
Knit Pro do a lovely soft.
Okay, so we've got a couple of minutes left, Barbara.
Okay, so you will put to do any kind of clasp, you start with your jump ring, and I've put the jump ring. You can see I've put it between that join there because that's a nice place to put your jump ring, and then I've just attached.
So you actually goes just round the
just round
rather than
inside.
piercing anything.
Yeah, don't pierce it because if you do pierce it, you will you'll lose strength basically in your cotton, because remember this is still just cotton.
Yeah.
And then you put on your whatever
clasp you want.
I think you've got one over there with
I've got magnetic clasp, which is brilliant because it's really hard doing up a bracelet.
Bracelets are lovely with magnetic clasps. If you're going to use a magnetic clasp for your necklace, please make sure that it's good quality and that it's a good magnet.
Yeah. Yes.
See, this is you just lose those and they just.
But then that's easier to do up. It's bracelets that are difficult.
It's bracelets that are much harder.
I love this. It's so pretty.
Yeah. And I think you've got a bracelet there with this is a fancy clasp, but you can have quite plain.
Oh, let's see.
I
think I've got a bit of in a muddle, to be honest. I think I might have mixed everything.
Matter.
Oh, look, there we go.
That's quite a plain one, I think.
That's easier than when you have what's it called with the little.
The lobster clasp.
Yeah. Just like almost impossible to do.
I very rarely use those unless it's for a necklace.
Because that's fine. You try and doing that up. And
try and doing it.
No. So that's nice, isn't it? Isn't that one pretty?
Yeah,
it's very different, the winter one, isn't it? It's very, very subtle, very pretty.
Yes.
Lovely. Well, that's brilliant. Thank you so much, Barbara, for coming back. These have been fantastic.
I hope we're going to have some more tatters out there.
Yes. Well, do please message in if you've got any problems or any questions. Let us know and send us some pictures of what you've made, because as Barbara said, you know, she's put the edging onto these tissue box covers. What else? What else can we put them on? What have you put yours on?
Handkerchiefs, T-shirts.
Oh, I guess you could
bags,
just put it around the sleeves, on the cuff.
Yeah, collar.
Just the thing, children's clothes as well, I imagine.
Kiddies' clothes, they would love it.
That tiny little edging. But you know, if you just
you know, in your sewing room, if you've got a nice something like this.
Yeah, just put it around the edge of it.
You can put edging around your pin cushions.
But you know, if you bought a cardigan and it had this sort of lacy edging, it suddenly goes up £15, doesn't it?
Oh gosh.
But you can make your own. So there's loads of different things you can do with it. Well, that's been brilliant.
Table mats, napkins.
Yeah.
Oh, it's endless.
It's endless.
You can do.
And you can make meters and meters of it with what you can get in your kit. So the instructions. So we're just going to recap the kits. I'm not going to do the needle tatting because it's sold out.
Okay.
So I can't.
Forget about that for the moment.
So spring is still the most popular, so that's the one I'm going to start with. I'm going to separate my kits because I've gotten a little bit of a mess here. Then I started taking things out. I didn't take any of the thread out of the packet, so we're okay, because once I'd have had it then. So in each of the kits, you get everything you need. Everything. So you get the Learn Tatting book, which has got all these fab pictures, diagrams, everything you need to know. Basically everything that Barbara's just shown you. Obviously, don't forget you can watch it back on the 16th of December or today, which, you know, and just keep watching and watching. And then eventually you'll just be doing it really, really fast as well. Everything you need to know is there, and the patterns. There's also Barbara's pattern that she's written specially for the show. Beginner's tatting pattern for an edging or a bracelet.
Just for you.
Just for me, it was. Just for me. Well, just for you, actually.
For you.
Just for you. Because I said, let's come back. We'll do beginners again, but I want you to, let's have something a bit different. So you can make the bracelet. You can make the necklace. There's the spring things I'm wearing there. So there's with the spring one, there's the bracelet. Look how the colour changes, because you get the 3 balls. You get the lovely soft pink, leaf green, and then this beautiful variegated thread. And you can see the colour changing there. That's what it looks like as an edging, as a bracelet. And Barbara's has been wearing the necklace. But you don't have to change those colours, it does it for you. Oh, and you get the tatting shuttle, most important. Yes. You won't be able to do it without that. So that's all, and it all comes in a nice little bag as well. There are less than 20 of those left, so you need to, if they're in your basket, please do check out, or you won't have them. Summer. So exactly the same with summer. You get the Learn Tatting book. You get the these are incredibly good value. When you think, you know, this is specially sourced and bought thread that comes from America. It's imported by Barbara because it's the best one. You know, as we said, we don't want you to start a new hobby and within inferior quality products. It's everything that you need, and it's the stuff that the expert people like Barbara use. So you're starting where you should have done. So we'll read those out in a minute. Oh, so we've got some lovely messages for Barbara. So we haven't got time to read them all out. We'll read them to her later.
Thank you.
And you get and then you get the instruction booklet.
Thank you.
The tatting shuttle, and then these 3 lovely threads. You get the pink, lilac, and this lovely variegated, which looks better. It's easier to see if I show you what it makes, because then you can see how the colour changes. So you have to just decide, or if you've got a friend, who you know is interested, would like to learn a new hobby, order one for them and one for yourself. Yeah, but that's how. Who's Muriel, that's Muriel who sent the message in, said her friend helped her. So, you know, you could learn.
Because some people catch on a bit quicker than others.
Yeah.
You know, and
you could learn together, buy one for yourself, send one to a friend, and then go over Zoom.
There you go, yes. Zoom is brilliant for this.
And you can do it together then.
Yeah. What a lovely idea.
Yes, and then, you know, when the weather gets better, you can sit in the park and do it.
Yeah, and then you get loads of people asking you what you're doing. You can show them how to do
it. You can have everybody tatting. A socially distanced tatting group.
Yes.
But it's just a really, it's something it's very mindful. You've really got to concentrate to start with. You've got to really think it through. And, it's not, then after, clearly you'll be an expert and you'll be brilliant. But it is a lovely thing to have a go at if you've not tried it, because it's so portable, isn't it? We've got the autumn kit. Again, you get the full instruction booklet, you get Barbara's instructions, you get the tatting shuttle, the gorgeous falling leaves thread, orange and yellow. Do I need to take it off? Okay. So I'm wearing the the autumn necklace. Yes, it's because Hannah said Emma, and then I said I'm wearing the Emma. So I'm wearing the autumn necklace. I'm wearing it because I think it matches my pinafore.
I think it does.
Yes, really well.
That's the one I would have
Beautiful,
chosen
isn't
for
it?
you.
Can you imagine if I had to buy that? It would cost absolute fortune, wouldn't it?
And they're so light, you don't know you've got them on, do you?
No, it's lovely. It's so light as well.
Yeah.
And there's the bracelet and the tissue holder, and I've only got a minute left. So very quickly, the winter kit, again, you get everything you need with the instructions and the booklets and 3 threads. You get the beautiful ice variegated thread, ocean turquoise and bright blue, and the shuttle and all the instructions. And you can make these lovely things, and you can make necklaces as well. But there's lots and lots of things you can make.
There's
Everything you need to know. So all you've got to decide really is which colourway you're going to have, which is the tricky thing. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us today. I've really enjoyed this. It was great when Barbara was on air with the last time, and it's been lovely this time. Do watch back the YouTube for when you get your kit back home. The kits will be on the website, so if you want to have a think about it, they're on the website now for you to buy. So Yarn Lane will be back on Wednesday. Oh, quite excited about Wednesday. Oh, it's Granny Square cardigan day.
Oh, right.
Just saying. And you know what? She's got it in 4 colourways, and I can't choose either. So you've got the glory of tatting today and the glory of the Granny Square cardigan on Friday with Sam Sabido from Adventures in Crafting. So thanks for joining us, and we will see you on Wednesday.